Yeah, so I had so much fun going live yesterday. I actually can't even believe it because I never thought that I would like live streaming. Like for me, live streaming has always been kind of scary, but I actually had so much fun yesterday. So I'm back. I'm back for another live stream, and also I think I might be a live streamer now, just in general. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna stick to it. I also like how when I do live streams, it saves to my YouTube channel. So I'm like, why don't I just do this? Yeah, so I'm live on TikTok right now and I'm live on YouTube. So subscribe to my channel if you're watching this on YouTube. Today's topic is going to be creating the life you want by making space for the new. I'm totally inspired by the springtime. For those of you guys that don't know, my birthday is in March. I'm a March baby, okay? So, and I heard this thing, I'm not sure how true it is, that basically like your favorite season is the month that you were born. So whatever season it is that's the month that you were born, that's supposed to be like your favorite season. And I feel like for me, I definitely like the spring a lot. I like what it represents. I just feel like it's such a good time of year. It feels like we're coming out of the winter, we're ready for like new things. So spring is definitely my favorite, and that's what inspired today's video about creating the new by clearing space, because we hear this thing about like spring cleaning, right? So that's kind of what inspired today's video, and that's what I want to talk about. This is what I was going to make a video on my channel about anyways, but I'm making it live because why not? So yeah, clearing space for the new and creating the life that you want. So for those of you watching on my TikTok, my YouTube is Renesita. And then for my YouTube, my TikTok is Dream Styling NYC if you want to follow me on either one. I just started liking going live. I don't know what happened. I used to be so scared, and now I'm like, I feel like it's a thing. So yeah, today we're talking about creating the life that you want by making space for the new. And I'm definitely inspired by the springtime. I was saying earlier, if you guys missed it, like I feel like they say that your favorite season is the month that you were born. So for me, I'm a March baby. I feel like spring is my favorite season. I like what it represents. I like that it's all like rebirth energy. Like it's like a totally new time of year. So I love that. And also, if you're curious, my name actually literally means rebirth. So I'm like, okay, spring is the freaking best. And I'm feeling, I have yet to clean. I have yet to do my spring cleaning, but you know, that's next. So how are you guys making space for new things this spring? What are you guys doing? Are you cleaning? Are you decluttering? What is it? But this is kind of my 2 cents on creating space for the new, right? Like I'm all about like creating your dream life. If you watch my YouTube channel, I literally have over like 100 videos on my channel, and probably like 25% of those are about manifesting and creating the life that you want. I don't think it has to be this like what's it called, mysterious thing. Like I think there's actually concrete things that you can do every single day to kind of, okay, I don't know how to live stream. I'm seeing things pop up on my screen and I don't know what this means, so I'm sorry if I'm doing something wrong, but whatever. So yeah, how do you, okay, I don't know what I did. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm a live streamer now, yay. Anyways, so what are we making space for this spring? What are we doing this spring to make room for the new things in your life? And something that I've learned is that when you want to create new things in your life, almost like as a consequence, you also have to let go of certain things. So sometimes creating space for the new just has to do with letting go of things as well. So for me, I was on my live stream yesterday and we were talking about kind of making better habits, breaking toxic habits. And I was talking about how one of the things that I want to let go personally is processed foods. Like I feel like I just got into this habit of eating processed foods, junk foods, and it sucks because it's like literally there's a physically addictive component and then there's like an emotionally addictive component to that. So that's personally for me one of the things that I'm trying to let go, but I'm curious to hear what you guys are trying to let go and what kind of things you want to make space for in this new season. I feel like a new season is a really good invitation for, you know, trying out new things and letting go of things. Hi, you are so cute. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know you're really pretty. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I'm new to live streaming. Please be nice, okay? I want to come back and do this again because I love the live components. So thank you so much for the compliments. I really appreciate it. For those of you that are joining right now, the topic is creating space for the new in this new season of spring and creating the life that you want. You went to the YMCA over break. Awesome. So are you trying to exercise, or is that one of your goals? Because I'm definitely here for that. I love fitness. I love all things wellness and nutrition. So the YMCA can be really great. I love how it brings you closer to your community too. So good for you. Good for you. I know a lot of people want to pick up exercising. That's always like the first goal that people say. So yeah, I feel like creating space for the new and creating the life that you want. Also, let me know if you can hear me. I had a weird setup yesterday. I feel like my audio was weird. So if you can't hear me, let me know. But yeah, creating space for the new. One of the things that I was journaling about this morning is that in order to create space for the new and create the life that you really want, you have to not be scared of you have to start doing things that you're actually scared to do. So it's kind of like what they call in like manifestation world pattern interrupt. You have to kind of like literally pattern interrupt by trying new things, even if it means going a different way home than you normally go, like just changing up your route. It could be very small things like this, and it can also obviously be big things, but creating space for new things has to do with starting to do the things that you are scared of. So for me personally, I've had to start doing that this year, and even before the spring, even before I was inspired by this whole like whatever spring cleaning vibes, right? I was thinking that, obviously if you have any area of your life that you're trying to make a change in, you can start seeing real change by starting to make yourself uncomfortable, putting yourself in uncomfortable positions, doing things that you're scared of, because that's literally how you grow. So for me, I personally, this is just my own story time, I took a break from dating for about a year, literally. And, part of developing this area of my life of like dating, romance, relationships, trying to make that better had to include doing things that I'm scared of. And you know what that meant? Like literally putting myself out there, going on dates. It's not my natural habitat. I don't love it. Like, I grew to enjoy it. I found ways to like it more and more. But that was kind of how I did things that I was scared of. I started like really putting myself out there. And another part of creating space for the new and creating the life that you really want is not having fear and doubt be like the main character in your mind. So I don't know about you guys, but if you're into mindfulness at all, if you're into like meditation at all, or just like, bettering your mindset, you probably have heard about how to be like the main character in your life. And that's definitely true. But I want to add to that and say that you kind of have to stop allowing it's not only when it comes to people, it's about like energies and like mindsets. So we have to stop allowing fear and doubt to be the main character in our life. Like, I don't know about y'all, but if you've heard about like mindfulness and stuff, basically what they, what they promote is being aware of the thoughts that you're having. So if you are ever aware of the thoughts that you're having sometimes, like just randomly, if you just tune in, I'm surprised sometimes by myself, looking lovely. Thank you so much. Hey, you have the same name as me, Renee. Love that. But I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I really pay attention to the thoughts that I'm having, I'm like, why am I being so like, not only like negative, but just like mean to myself, critical of myself. And I feel like that has a lot to do with having like fear and doubt overstay in your life. So a lot of the times creating space for new things has to do with overcoming fear, overcoming doubt, and just like being mindful of the negative thoughts that we're having. So personally for me, I feel like fear and doubt are like the main negative patterns that I have in my mind when I'm really paying attention to my thoughts, but I'm curious to know what yours might be. Definitely becoming aware of the thoughts that you're having is how you create space for the new, because if you don't want something in your life, basically you have to stop paying attention to that thing. You have to stop putting your energy on that thing and start putting your energy on the things that you actually want. And I think there's a name for this. I'm probably going to totally fumble what the name for this thing is, but it's basically called like observation, something about like observing. It's like a physics thing. Like basically it says that the more that you observe a certain thing, the more likely it is to happen like in your life or something. So what that made me think about is like how paying more attention to the things that inspire you and the things that like even if it comes to a person, like maybe you found a new muse, maybe you have a location or a place that you want to travel to that's really just doing it for you, like it's really making you feel, yeah, visualization, exactly, it's like visualization. And it's also, I feel like the reason that that works is because it taps into like your emotions and it makes you feel like inspired, and you need that level of like excitement in your life. And the more that you focus on the things that you actually want, and as best as you can, I know that some people go like way to the extremes with it and they become a little bit like delusional. And you know, I know there's like that, there's extremes, right? We want to always avoid extremes, but I do think there's, okay, I don't know how this live works, okay? I'm getting like a shape on my head. I don't know what that means. But yeah, did I miss anything? Let me see. Yeah, what you focus on and think about is what your life will look like. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I feel like part of creating the life that you want and really creating space for new things is if you're somewhere and you're unhappy. I have a mustache now. What does that mean on TikTok? Like, this is so funny. I can't believe I've never done live for as long as I've been on damn TikTok. But yeah, what you focus on and think about is what your life will look like. Absolutely. And I feel like if you want to see a change in your life and you're not happy with where you are, you need to start by changing the things that you're observing on a daily basis. I feel like that's why your environment really matters so much when you're trying to like create some kind of change or positive effect in your life, because what you're seeing every day is going to impact you in one way or another. And I feel like that's especially true. I started to really notice this when okay, I don't know how to use the live. I'm just learning, so if I miss anything, I'm so sorry. But it all happens in the subconscious mind. When you visualize, you're training your mind to accept. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a strange thing because as much as I agree, for some people, visualization just doesn't do it for them. Like, visualization is not enough to, you know, create inspiration. Like, some people, they need something else. But I do think that when it comes down to it, the core of like really creating inspiration in your life is tapping into the feeling of what having that thing would be like. And that's why personally for me, like, I try to focus on always finding one way or another to remain inspired. So for example, even today, right? Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. I woke up feeling like crap. I woke up feeling like I was like, I'm gonna go back to bed. But you know what I did? Like, I got myself together. Like, I did a look, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did a new makeup look. I have an eyeshadow palette that I never use, and I'm like, let me use that today. I kind of had to like get myself there, and now I'm feeling good. And I'm like, let me go live and start talking. And like, sometimes you really have to do like physical things to get you feeling better. So anyways, yeah, visualization definitely helps. And one of my favorite tools for visualizing stuff and just remaining inspired in like in any kind of area, whether I'm trying to improve my fitness, my nutrition, my relationships, if I'm trying to plan a trip and I don't even know where to look because I'm on TikTok and YouTube. But so I'm sorry if I'm like going around, but what's it called? My favorite tools for visualizing is Pinterest. Like, I love Pinterest. I love, especially like, I'm just starting to get that like travel bug where I'm starting to really want to like travel, and what's helping me visualize those things even coming true is using Pinterest and seeing what those locations actually look like. I actually use TikTok too for visualization. Sometimes I'll just look in the search bar and I'll put the location that I really want to go, and I just look at that and it makes me feel inspired. And it's like, sometimes because we don't know exactly how a thing will happen, we allow that to like be discouraging to us. Like, we don't even think about the possibility of that thing becoming true because we don't know how it will happen. But the thing is, like, you need to create that inspiration and that just like sense of like awe first, and not worry about how it will happen, because you need that feeling. Like, you're gonna need that feeling to like actually make it come true. And I kind of have a personal story about this too. So going back to speaking about travel, I was trying to plan a trip this summer, right? And I mentioned to somebody where I want to go, and I basically invited them on this trip. I'm like, hey, would you want to go on this trip with me, right? And obviously, like, travel is an expense, right? So obviously we have to consider our own personal budget when we're traveling and stuff. But for me, like, I don't know if it's just the way that I think. You guys let me know if you agree with this, but it's like, I told her, like, we should go on this trip in the August. Okay, what month is it? It's March. And I think I even said this earlier this year, probably like February. And obviously, I don't know if I'm like Delulu or whatever, but I wasn't thinking like, how are we going to afford this? Like, how are we going to do it? I can't do it because I made the date like literally so far into the future. Like for me, August is pretty far. Like, I don't know about you guys. I guess everyone perceives like time differently, but I'm like, we have so much time to make that happen. I don't really know how we're going to do it, but I feel like we can make it happen by that time. Like we have literally like 6 months to get this together. I didn't say all that, but that's just kind of the vibe that I have when I'm trying to like do something. Like I don't care exactly how it happens. As long as I have like a long stretch of time, I'm like, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. I definitely believe that. So I was kind of like, I didn't get my feelings hurt, but I was kind of like, I guess surprised when the answer that I got back to like proposing this trip, because all I said was, hey, wouldn't it be fun to go on this trip in August? The answer I got was like, oh, you know, I don't think I can do it. And when I asked her why, she was basically like, because, you know, I have to work and I can't really afford it and I'm probably going to be busy, and knowing you like to do bougie things. And it's like, I don't know why that kind of bothered me, because I'm not even like, I'm not a hotshot. Like I just kind of, I know that it's possible, and then I try to find a way to do it. And especially if you have time, I feel like there's a practical way to make things happen. Like it's not all a fantasy. Like I don't think of things that I want to do in life and I'm like, there's no way that could ever happen. I don't think that way. I feel like there's always a way. And I know that a lot of people get caught up on like money and how they're going to afford certain things, and that's enough to stop them from going after what they want to do. But I just feel like there's always a way, especially if you give yourself time. And like I said, remaining inspired is a really big part of that. That's why I love Pinterest. I love TikTok. I love, what is this one? YouTube. I like watching videos about things that I want to experience, because that helps me, one, see it in my mind what it could be like. I like to observe people who are, you know, what's it called, already having that thing and what they do, like even down to like little things, like what are their mannerisms, where do they like to go for breakfast, how do they think. I feel like literally tapping into the way that people think who have that thing is like a cheat code. But obviously all of this takes some level of awareness and like discipline and stuff. But for me personally, when I wanted to make like major shifts in my life, like for example moving, I had to, first of all, you almost have to have like blinders on and stop even paying attention to what's happening around you. Like when I wanted to move, I had to stop paying attention to the neighborhood that I was living in at that moment, at that time. And I had to start paying attention to the neighborhood that I wanted to live in by spending time there. I mean, I was already working there, so that obviously helped me. But I had to like really focus on the thing that I wanted and on the people who lived in that neighborhood. What did they act like? And it was a very big difference. Like I had a really big lofty goal. Actually, even moving here to this apartment that I'm in now, I had this huge goal, and I had to like not, you obviously sometimes can't ask for advice from people who are in the same situation as you, because they're not, and it's not sometimes to harm you, it's just that they don't think it's possible because they're in that situation too. So it's like you can't really ask them for advice. You have to start observing the people who already have that thing, because in their mentality, they know things that you don't know. They're doing things that you're not doing to have gotten them to where they are in life. So moving for me is a really big example of how I created change in my life, because I literally feel like your environment impacts you so much. I can't even begin to tell you how much moving impacted my life. Like not even from, okay, so there's like literally physically what I'm observing on an everyday basis, you know what I mean? Like, and I think even the Wizard Liz on her YouTube channel, she was talking about how she moved from like a small town to, I think, like a major city, where she's basically observing like luxury every single day and like how much that impacted her. And look at her, like she's doing great. She has a really successful YouTube channel right now, and she says that she needed to move in order to feel that way. So I feel like also for me, that's part of my like story, because when I moved, like I started seeing people live differently. Like, I'm not even kidding. I sounded like a campesina. Like, I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it's like, I was like, people live like this. And it was like simple things too. It wasn't like small little things. Like, it was like the simplest things that I'm like, wow, people actually like live this way. People actually like, you know, I don't know, I don't even know, like go to the cafe and like sit outside and just chill. And like people, oh, a big thing for me when I moved was how people dressed. I was like, oh my gosh, like people dress this way here, like I don't know. And it's kind of like, I don't want to be too I don't know what's the word, graphic, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna say it like this, and then if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. But some neighborhoods, I guess especially as a woman, you can't really dress a certain way because of the environment that you're in, because you don't want that kind of attention in that neighborhood. Versus some other neighborhoods, you can wear whatever, people wear whatever they want, and like you're not gonna be approached a certain way, or like, you know, catcalls or whatever the case might be, because it's just the environment that you're in, if that makes sense. So I feel like changing the environments that I observed, that was one of the first things I noticed, was like, wow, people actually like wear skirts here, and like they walk around in heels, and it's like not a big deal. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. That's might be like very niche for me, but that was just one of the things that I noticed about changing your environment, because at the end of the day, your environment impacts you a lot, because whether or not you feel comfortable is going to impact your confidence. You know what I mean? So if you're not comfortable, how can you feel confident? That's why some women feel sexier in like looser clothing, because they feel comfortable that way. At the end of the day, you're going to not only look sexier or be more confident when you feel comfortable, but you're actually going to feel more comfortable as well. And your environment has a really big part to play in that too. So yeah, I feel like changing your environment sometimes is the biggest way to up-level your life and create space for new energy in your life. That's why people feel so refreshed when they go on trips, because it's like it changed the way that they see the world. Like, even if it's just like a 2-day trip, when you go on that trip and you go back home, you're like, oh, like it's a whole different feeling. Like, you're actually like excited to go home maybe this time, and you're appreciating your daily life in a way that you weren't before, maybe, if that makes sense. So your environment is like a huge thing. I talk about that a lot on my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel is Renesita on YouTube, Reneecita. If you're watching this on TikTok, if you're watching this on YouTube, my TikTok is Dream Styling NYC. And for those of you guys that are just joining, the topic for today's video is creating space for the new, inspired by obviously the spring, and creating the life that you want. So we're talking about basically like manifesting and the goals that we have for this spring. Yesterday on my live, we were talking about breaking like toxic habits and stuff, and one of the habits that I'm trying to let go is basically eating like processed foods, because I just got into the habit of eating junk foods. So personally for me, I feel like that's how I'm creating space for the new in my own life, because I want to feel my best, and I can't like, okay, something just popped up. I don't know what this is. 1 second. I don't know about you guys, but like if I don't feel my best, good luck for everything else happening during my day. Like, I need to like feel high levels of energy for the kind of work that I do. And someone said, girl, I miss my ex. Girl, no, I rebuke that. It's spring, okay? Spring represents the new. So sometimes, I mean, I feel you, like that's totally natural, and that's happened to me many times, but guess what? Your ex is your ex for a reason. And we really do have to start training our minds to, we have to start convincing ourselves that what's in the future is better than what we're leaving behind. As corny as that sounds, it's very true. And I feel like sometimes if you're like a very nostalgic person, or if you feel like you miss the past a lot, it's because you don't have faith that things are going to get better and that there's better things ahead. And it's not like, that's just not true. Like, does that even sound true when I say that the best is behind us? Like, no, that doesn't even feel right, even saying that. So thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I would say if you're missing your ex, you need to start making plans for the future, getting inspired about the future, and just focusing on the present moment, and convince yourself in your mind that there's better things waiting for you in the future, because God knows why that relationship ended. Your ex is an ex for a reason, and it's also just not wise to keep looking back. Like, we don't have to do that, okay? Like, I promise you, if you can convince yourself in your mind that there's better things ahead, then that's exactly what's going to happen for you. Having that kind of mindset is literally how you create the life that you want, okay? And honestly, think about it like this. Think about it like this. Obviously, what they say, hindsight is 2020, right? So when we're looking back, we're like, oh, hold up. Like, I can see why that might have happened. Like, I can kind of understand now. So for me, like, I've definitely gone through periods of like missing an ex as well, but think of it like this: like, you learned what you had to learn from that situation, and now you're going forward. And for whatever reason you guys broke up, it's now your mission to not go through that again. And also, a really helpful mindset tip is to understand that you're never starting from ground zero. You're never starting from scratch. I feel like a lot of the times people get nostalgic and they miss their past relationships because they feel this dread, like, oh, I have to start all over again now, like I have to like start from scratch. But the truth is that you're never really starting from scratch. You're starting from, the place where you learned all of these things, you had these new experiences, and obviously relationships are like our biggest teachers. So you learned whatever you could from that relationship, and now you get to go forward and use that energy for something new. Like, you have to start being excited for new things. You need to create space for new. And I want to even challenge you a little bit, because how can you create space for new things in your life if you're still holding on to this? It's kind of like a tug of war. So unfortunately, sometimes, like, we have to make sacrifices in our life in order to create a better scenario for ourselves in the present and in the future. And one of the most harsh truths that I've learned is that, especially since you're saying you miss your ex, like, especially when it comes to relationships, like, relationships are transient. Even romantic relationship, friendship, transient. They come, they go, and, like, if we're lucky, we get to keep a few real ones. But like, not everybody can come with you, basically. That's kind of one of the hardest things I've had to learn. And I know how much it sucks, like, letting go of people, but it's like, are you willing to hold on to that person, to that situation so much that you're going to sacrifice what is coming next for you? Like, do you value that past relationship more than your vision for your own future? Like, that's something to think about. And sometimes we're nostalgic and we miss people from the past because we have a low sense of self-esteem and we don't believe that there can be better. But there can always be better, okay? There can always be better. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to see that comment, I missed my ex. Like, let's focus on the new. We're creating space for new things. And yeah, so what I want to say is, like, basically we have to start paying more attention to the things that inspire us. We have to find a muse. We have to find some kind of dream, even if it's like just to travel. Start getting inspired by, like, the travel imagery, whatever it might be for you, and start putting your focus on those things. That's why I feel like books can really help. Even online content creators can really help, especially if they have something that you really admire about them, or like their lifestyle. Like, just listening to them and hearing the way that they think can be enough inspiration in itself. Obviously, don't go to extreme, like, no idols or anything like that, but it does a lot for your mindset when you are constantly inspired. And for me, I've had to shift my own attention lately. Like, so what are some of the things that I'm trying to do? I'm trying to travel more often. So I'm watching travel videos on TikTok, on YouTube. I'm, like, learning about these different locations. I'm listening to people who have gone to these places and, making my little itinerary of, like, what would be fun to go and do and visit if I were to go one day. And I'm not caught up in, like, how am I ever going to travel to this place, because I'm so inspired that, sometimes you have to also, this is kind of like deeper, something I've learned, is that sometimes you also have to allow yourself to enjoy even just having the desire to do that thing. So you have to enjoy even just having the dream, even just wanting the thing, if that makes sense, like before you get it. Because part of what makes the getting the actual thing that you want, like for example in this case, I want to go on a fabulous trip to like my dream location, right? Obviously when I go on that trip, whenever that might be, I don't have a solid plan right now, but whenever that might be, that's going to be amazing in itself, right? Like that's going to be very fulfilling. But part of what's fun about even desiring to go on a trip at all is that it's fun to dream about what it could be like. It's fun to explore what I could do when I get there. It's fun to hear from people. It's fun to even have the desire to do that. So sometimes we have to allow ourselves to enjoy the desire for the thing that we want without turning it into this thing of like, oh, I don't have it yet, how will I get there? Like, you know, like you have to start learning to enjoy just even desiring that thing, wanting that goal, dreaming about it. Like enjoy that process too, and who knows, maybe that will even help you get there faster. So for me, my muses right now, like I feel like sometimes it helps to have like a muse. I well, honestly, I focus on things and not people for the most part, so I'm really inspired by like different countries right now. But if I were to choose like a muse, sometimes I like how a girl dresses, and you know, I will like look at her Instagram or her YouTube videos on like her personal style and how she got her own, and then I'll allow that to inspire me, right? I never, you know, like, want to be exactly like somebody else, but I do take inspiration from people. And I know, especially when it comes to like artists and stuff, right? Like we get inspired by artists, we get inspired by actors, we get inspired even these days, you know, modern day social media, content creators, influencers. Like find whatever is inspiring you and just let that like guide you on creating what it is that you want next in your life. Because the difference between people who actually have their manifestations come true versus people that don't and are kind of stuck in a cycle of like whatever it might be, of fear, of doubt, is that they allow their desires and the things that they want to inspire them rather than like weigh them down and make them feel like inadequate for not getting that thing, if that makes sense. So sometimes if you're looking at someone and you're like, why does she have this thing and I don't? Or how does this person get that career and I don't? You kind of have to start looking at the things that you want when you see them as a magazine. Like, you know, you want a little bit of this, you want a little bit of that. It's not something that you're never gonna have. It's your inspiration, it's your personal like magazine, you know? And I feel like that kind of mentality shift really helps too, because it shifts you out of a place of like low vibe, which is basically like jealousy. Jealousy is like very low vibe. And when you see that somebody has something and you feel like you're never going to have it, you are operating from a place of like very low self-esteem basically. So you don't want to be there, versus looking at that thing, looking at that person that has that thing and being like, this is my magazine inspiration. One day this is what I'm gonna do, and you just use it as inspiration, and that's all, instead of like using it to work against yourself. Like there's a way to make things work for you and against you when it comes to literally everything. So yeah, if you're just joining this live, today's topic is creating the life that you want, creating space for the new, inspired by the springtime, you know, decluttering and making energy for new things. Part of that, like we said earlier, is letting go. And if you're watching this on TikTok, my YouTube is Renacita. If you're watching this on YouTube, my TikTok is Dream Styling NYC. Definitely follow me on there for mindset, motivation, and just a bunch of other stuff. I also offer life coaching, and I have a program out now on my website where I basically do all of the self-improvement, inner work, personal development style videos in 30 days. It's like a 30-day challenge where you can improve your mindset and your self-esteem in 30 days. That's my guarantee. So read that on my website if that speaks to you. I'm probably going to be on here for only a few more minutes, but I'm so proud that I'm going live now. I'm like, you did that. Like, before I was so scared. As long as I've been on YouTube all these years and as long as I've been on TikTok, I don't know why I never went live. So yeah, today's topic, creating space for the new. What are some habits that you guys are trying to let go of? Let me know. What things are you making room for in your life right now? I'm really curious. I feel like for me, I'm making space in my life for travel. Like I'm from, like I love where I'm from, you know what I mean? Like I could be here every day and I'm proud to be from where I'm from. And I think that's kind of what held me back from desiring to travel so much, because I'm like, why would I have to leave? I have everything I need right here. But recently I went on a trip and I didn't even go that far. I literally went to Florida. It's not far at all. But when I came back, I'm like, that was so much fun. I want to do that more often. So now I have this inspiration to like travel more often, and that's kind of what I'm creating space for. Because obviously, if you're creating space for travel, for example, you need what? You need time flexibility. You need to like literally physically make time for a trip. What else do you need to make room for if you want a trip? You need to like, I don't know, if you want to make it fun, like plan outfits, you know what I mean? Like look at inspiring images of what it is that you might want to do on the trip. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like this morning I was watching a luxury video on this girl who went on a trip to like the Maldives. Is it Maldives or Maldives? I don't know what that means. Can I join a live? I don't really go live that often. This is like my second time. I've gotten all kinds of things pop up. But yeah, today's video is talking about creating space for the new and creating the life that you want. If you have anything you want to share, definitely let me know on how you're going about doing that. We kind of talked about visualization, letting go of habits, letting go of people, past relationships, past friends sometimes, changing our environments. These are personally for me what I think has helped transform my life the most and help me create a life that I want. And I feel like it's okay to also understand that, like, even, oh, this is something that I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, when I say this to people, I feel like I'm talking gibberish, but let me know if this makes sense. Like, I feel like sometimes when you have a goal, right? And then you get that goal, like, I feel like it has to be normalized that you want the next thing. Obviously, like in a healthy way, but I almost feel like sometimes people make it seem like you can only get like this or that and then that's it, like just chill. But it's like some people don't have that mindset. Like some people really thrive off of always growing, always like challenging themselves and getting to the next thing. And I feel like everyone's kind of in a different place in life, and you know, it's going to look different for everyone. But just because someone's goals don't look like yours doesn't mean that they are impossible for them, if that makes sense. So I feel like you have to be really careful about who you ask for advice, because like if they don't have that thing, they're just going to like talk fear into you, and they're going to convince you out of doing the thing that you want when it could very much be possible for you. And it's just, you know, it's not that it's impossible for them, but they don't believe that it's possible in their own mind. Therefore, it's impossible for them, you know, because of practical reasons, not metaphysical, spiritual reasons, because literally they're less likely to take action on the things that they want in life. You know, like even earlier in this video, I was talking about how someone said, how do I deal with a baby daddy? He's really wanted to be possible, but I hate the baby mother. Oh, I've never been in that. My gosh, that's such a specific question. I've never been in that situation. I feel like, okay, so you said, how do I deal with a baby daddy? He really wants it to be possible, but I hate the baby mama. Okay, I feel like you need to not focus on what he wants. You said he really wants it to be possible, and you need to think about what it is that you want. Okay, like really think about, do you actually even like this person, or are you just caught up in like what the situation is? Do you really like this person? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. Do you like him enough to deal with that kind of scenario? And that's what I would start with, okay? Because you don't want to overcomplicate your life and add unnecessary stress and drama. I feel like that's the number one thing that takes away from people's beauty and like literally energy. So really think about that one, if it's worth it, if you like him enough. Like, do the pros outweigh the cons? Are you going to be happy in that kind of situation? It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it from what I read. But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We're talking about creating space for the new, remaining inspired. We talked about visualization, letting go of people if we have to. And if you're watching this on TikTok, my YouTube is Renacita. Please subscribe. We do all things mindset, personal development. And lately my thing is going live. So she said, thank you. No problem, girl. No problem. And lately I like going live. So if you want to catch me live, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to Dream Styling NYC on TikTok. And if you want to work with me personally, I do work on people one-on-one for life coaching. And I have a self-study program on my website that you can check out. It's a 30-day challenge basically to up-level your mindset and your self-esteem. And someone said, I know I'm meant to be a singer, but I don't know where to start. I would say you have to start. I used to sing actually. I did music for many years. And I would say that it starts from having fun and enjoying the creative process. Like fall in love more with that versus your like personal goals with where you want to be in your career, if that makes sense. So literally like fall in love with writing songs and just let it come from your heart and then take it from there. Because if you get wrapped up in the semantics of like how is this thing going to happen, you're probably less likely to get started at all. So for me, when I was doing music and when I basically do anything, like I'm a very creative person, when I do anything, I have to literally enjoy it, have fun while I'm doing it, or it's just not going to stick. Like it's just not going to work for the long haul. So if you think you are meant to be a singer, you don't know where to start, I would say that you need to start enjoying the process of creating songs and just get lost in that and then let the rest happen naturally, because sometimes that's the best part. Like for me personally, the best part of doing music was writing the songs. Like I didn't even care about performing that much. I didn't care about, I did the whole circuit. Like I did the videos, I did the performances, I have 2 albums, like, you know, I met people, I did the whole meeting producers, going to different studios, traveling, like, but the best part was literally getting lost in writing the song. Like I love lyrics. That was like my favorite part. So find what's the best part about music for you, focus on that and like let it develop from there, and obviously share your work. I feel like a lot of artists have trouble like just sharing the things that they're working on because we, you know, we get so self-critical and stuff, but don't get caught up in that. Like just get lost in actually like the art of what it is that you're creating. And what's that book, there's a good book on this topic too where he talks about the creative process. It's Rick Rubin, The Creative Act. That's a pretty good book on just the creative process in general, but you definitely just have to get focused on what you actually enjoy about music if you're trying to start your career there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get off this live now because I've been on for like 40 minutes, but thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Renacita, if you're into personal development and mindset work. And my TikTok, if you're watching this on YouTube, is Dream Styling NYC. Check out my personal development programs on my website. I have a 30-day challenge on there for those of you that want to increase your self-esteem and kind of learn all of these things that literally took me years to learn in 30 days. You can get that there. It's kind of like a quick download. And I offer one-on-one personal coaching sessions. You can probably just DM me on Instagram. That's the best way to contact me. But yeah, already subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to make a video right after this. Let me know what topics you want to see on my YouTube channel. But I'm just so shocked that I actually like going live now. I never thought the day would come. I don't know. I've been on YouTube for years. I've been on TikTok for a long time too, pretty much, but I never went live. So I'm really enjoying it. Someone says hi. Hello there. Hello. Today's topic was creating the life that you want and creating space for the new. So we kind of like dove deep on there. If you want to watch the entirety of this live, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. I'm about to log off because I have a lot to do today and I'm over here making videos on the internet and I have to get started with my day. But if you want to catch everything that we talked about, it's going to be on YouTube. Okay, so subscribe there and I'm off of this. Bye. How do I do this? Yeah, bye YouTube. I will see you on the next live. Let me know what topics you want to see. On my community tab on my channel, you can always leave a comment under any of those posts about what topic you want to see or just your thoughts on any video. You can always leave me a comment on the video. I can't believe I like going live now. I'm like, woo, we're doing that second day going live. Hey, so yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time. Bye.